Good morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Columbus. My name is Cindy Wicker. My pronouns are she, her, and I serve on your board of trustees. I am a short, white, middle-aged woman with multicolored hair, wearing a fuchsia-colored shirt and gray sweater. Turn the page. Our speakers provide descriptions to welcome people with visual impairments and those listening online. Thank you for joining us this morning. Please take a moment to silence your phones and your smartwatches if you have them. Before I get started into announcements, real quick, I have a little housekeeping. We have a Honda key fob. So if anybody is missing a Honda key fob, please find me in Beach Hall after the service, or find me up here. I'll be sitting up in the front. I have your keys. Okay. So also I would like to thank Pat. When I was up here giving a board welcome, she said, "Honey, you talk really fast." I said, "Okay, Pat, I will talk slower." So I am really trying to talk slower. So if I get too fast, let me know. Scan the QR code to check in, access our donation page, or view the order of service. It's right up there on the screen. Visitors here in person are invited to pick up a first-time gift at the welcome table out in the gallery. After the service, look for the Getting to Know UU sign in Beach Hall to learn more about us and what we value here at First UU. Whether you are a new member or you remember the 1970s at First UU firsthand, you are invited to come chat with me or another board member after the service. There's a lot happening this week, so here are some highlights. Check your order of worship or the Friday news email for more details. Archives team is hosting their history workshop about First UU in the 1970s in here after the service. Expressive workshop will explore the theme of story through artistic practice Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Our atheists, skeptics, and humanists will host speaker James Bowling at 7 p.m. Tuesday. Next Sunday, Mary Catherine Morin, president of the UU Service Committee, will be preaching and leading a workshop after. The First UU's auction is coming up on March 1st. We have a few very special guests here to tell you more.
I am the Sparkle Fairy. I am sparking community. I am sparking joy. I am sparking...
Hey, could you spark us some volunteers?
What kind of volunteers?
Well, decorating volunteers, computer volunteers, serving volunteers, busing volunteers, bar volunteers, volunteers to put this room back together for Sunday service.
Piece of cake. Poof! There's 60 volunteers. I'm sparking generosity. I'm sparking camaraderie. I'm sparking...
Wait, how about sparking me some donations?
Well, what kind of donations?
Oh, meals, services, excursions, games, lessons, all kinds of fun stuff. Anything to bring people together.
Easy peasy. Poof! There you go. 300 donations. I'm sparking fun. I'm sparking twinkles.
If only it were that easy. The truth is, a successful auction takes all of us. So please stop by the auction table after the service and see how you can add your spark. And where did that fairy go?
Hi, no.
Sorry, one more thing. We need to do something to encourage new members to come and see what the auction is all about.
Of course.
All right.
$10 discount on admission for any new members. Only $20.
Super, that should do it. So please come and see us after the service. Thank you, Sparkle Fairy. Thank you for that beautiful song by Dennis Frazier. And now, please rise in body or in spirit to sing hymn number 295, Sing Out Praises for the Journey.
Sing out praises for the journey, pilgrims we who carry on, searchers in the soul's deep yearnings, like our forebears in their time. We seek out the Spirit's wholeness in the endless human quest. Look inside your souls, the kindling of the hearth fire pilgrims knew. Find the Spirit always restless, find it in each mind and heart. Touch and hold that ancient yearning, kindling for a newfound truth. Stand we now upon the threshold, facing futures yet unknown. Hearth behind us, wayside hostel, built by those who knew wild roads. Guard we ere their sacred embers, carried in our minds and hearts.
Please be seated. Good morning. I'm not the Reverend Kelly McNeil. We're trying to spare Kelly's voice this morning. I'm the Reverend Dr. Teresa Cooley, your developmental minister. I am a woman in her early 60s with silver hair and very sparkly pink glasses and a blue sweater. And we're very happy to have you with us this morning. We gather on the stolen land of the Wyandotte, Miami, Seneca, Erie, Shawnee, Delaware, and Cayuga people, many of whom were forcibly removed. We support the Native American Center of Central Ohio in their Land Back campaign, and we know we have more to do to be in solidarity and true relationship with this land and the people who are indigenous to it. This morning is a full-on celebration of community. Yeah, you didn't say that. Yes, great. First, by officially welcoming new members into our midst, and later hearing about the multitude of caring ministries that we engage in. So let us enter into the spirit of worship with these words by Carol Thomas Sissel. We are one. We are family. We are connected by blood and by bone, by mind and heart, and sometimes bricks and mortar. Like the finest woven tapestries of old, and the spices blended and stirred into our family's secret recipes. Our lives are intentionally intertwined. And we are made, no, we are fashioned into a stronger community by those connections. This interlacing, intertwining, intermingling of our existence makes each of us whole. This interlacing of our lives makes us whole. Happiness and sorrow. This intermingling of our lives makes us whole. Lament and laughter. May we allow the magic and mystery, often named Spirit, to keep us connected long after today's service has ended. Come, let us worship together this morning. It is now time for our children to meet Amber and Nikki out in the gallery to prepare to bring in the lights. And any new members participating in the new member recognition, please come forward. And everyone else, turn to your neighbor and introduce yourselves. It is now time for the children to bring in the lights.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Kelly McNeil. My pronouns are she, her, and I serve as the Minister of Congregational Life here at First UU. I am a woman in her mid-30s with long dark hair. I'm wearing a pink Barbie dress and a rainbow stole. As we, as our newest members, work to kindle our flame, I invite you to join me in this responsive reading. You'll read the italicized words. Welcome all who seek renewal in a weary world. Welcome all who come with love and energy to share. Welcome to those who worry for the future. Welcome to each one who is grateful for today. Know that in this place you are not alone. In community, we share our strength with one another, and we keep the flame of love burning bright. Know that in this place, responsibility is shared. Here, tradition holds us. Ancestors shine the light from the past. Here, the young lift their bright faces and beckon us onward. Take my hand, and we can go on together. Our chalice is lit. You guys can blow out your candles if you don't want to stand holding. That's fine. As we welcome our newest members, let us begin by honoring the ancestors of First UU with these words by Alice Anechka Nussman. Let us take a moment to honor the ancestors of this church, the people who first came together to create a home for liberal religion here in Columbus, Ohio, who worked to raise money for a building, who sat in committee meetings and created bylaws, who chopped and marinated and baked for potlucks, who painted and weeded and pounded nails and washed countless dishes, who gathered to worship, to learn, to grieve, to heal, to serve, to build justice, to transform their lives and this world. We are the recipients of an incredible gift and a beautiful vision. Let us do our part to keep this congregation strong, vital and thriving for the generations to come. And now, let us welcome our newest members. Please hold your applause till the end. But you can blow bubbles at any time. You don't have to wait till the end to blow bubbles. New member, if you want to just raise your hand when I say your name so they know who I'm talking about. We have Megan Utley. Megan lives in Powell with her spouse Jared and their 15-year-old twins Rowan and Reed. They all adore their rescued Great Pyrenees named Luna. They enjoy traveling and visiting family, and Megan joined First UU in the fall. We have Liz Bauer. Liz lives in the Hilliard area with her two daughters Lucy and Eva. They have a dog named Rudy and two guinea pigs, Roxy and Winnie. Liz works at the Hilliard branch of the Columbus Metropolitan Library in Youth Services, working with kids of all ages. She enjoys spending time with her family, reading, gardening, and camping. Christina Bertocci lives in Lincoln Village with her husband Derek Dorso and their two dogs Tusker and Ellie. They are expecting a baby boy in April. Christina is a full-time architect and part-time adjunct professor at The Ohio State University who loves reading books, doing challenging Sudokus, and attempting to relearn the piano. And Derek Dorso, husband to Christina and soon-to-be father, is an animal lover, hobby ceramicist, Jenny's Ice Cream's accountant, quilting beginner, novice crew fan, and excited member of Columbus First UU. We have John Christensen, who I don't think is here today. You can read more about him in your order. We have Whitney Hammer, Ophelia, and Teddy. They're excited to be new members of the church, live in Hilliard with their cat Patchouli, and two parakeets winter and spring. They like outdoor activities like gardening, kayaking, swimming, and hiking. Whitney is a silversmith who works out of her home studio. And if you see her selling her jewelry at local art markets on the weekends, make sure to stop by and say hello. Rosalie Hendon is an arborist, photographer, and poet. She and her husband Fernando have made Columbus their home for the past decade. While she's a new member, Rosalie has long appreciated UU churches, visiting different congregations for the past 14 years. Matt Hollander participated in the new member class and joined First UU in the spring of 2023. He and his wife, Nora Diaz, moved to Central Ohio from Madison, Wisconsin in 2018. At this church, Matt appreciates the challenge to live one's values and the opportunity to strengthen community connections. Nico Lawson is a dancer, educator, artistic adventurer, and professional wanderer. And they moved to Columbus in 2021 for their MFA in dance at The Ohio State University, graduating in 2024. They fell in love with this funky, queer Midwestern city and their life partner, Alex, and they got married on January 9th. Nico and Alex have 4 mischievous cats and love opening up their home to friends and found family for meals and fellowship. Then we have Joshua, Heather, Evie, Kai, Bethany, and Zadie Stone. They became members in April of 2023, 2 days before Zadie was born. After having attended First UU for a year and a half, as a chaplain and social worker by trade, it was important to us for our spiritual home to match our family's values and meet our needs. We have found just that at First UU and have been involved in various aspects of the community. Currently, Heather is a small covenant group leader for caregivers of young children, and autumn of 2023 completed her training to be an OWL facilitator. And we have Carrie Hicks and Dave Merrill. Carrie Hicks and Dave Merrill live in Columbus with David's daughter Adelaide, 2 cats, and a dog. Carrie is a geospatial professional, which means she geeks out about maps. Dave is a fine art photographer and writer. And then we also have Luke Rauker, who did a fantastic conversation from the heart during our bridge campaign, and Bunny and Bob Summerlin, who joined us at a First Friday, and they can share their introductions, and we'll share that with all of you at a later date. So, new members. We have a little bit more. We have just a little more. Our new members, I now invite you to read the covenant that is on the back screen, if you can see that, or if you need to turn around and see it, that is fine too. We enter this faith. And I now invite our congregation to share a response of welcome together.
We welcome you as once we were welcomed ourselves.
We seek to be open and inclusive, respecting your inherent dignity, your ideas, and your vision in times when it is easy and in times when it is difficult. We seek to be supportive, not only when you reach out and encourage us, but also when you need us to reach out to you. In return,
we ask that you recognize our humanity.
we will not always live up to our ideals, and when we fall short,
We invite you to stay in relationship with us and help us more fully bring alive the spirit of love. We welcome you as an equal member of this congregation, of this faith, and of our shared spiritual journey.
welcome to First UU. You guys are free from standing in the front. Unless you want to stay up here, that is fine too.
Good morning. Now it is time for our story. With our new members this morning, we know that all families are different and all families are cool. So if your household didn't get a new member bag, or if you accidentally got 2, come talk to Kelly about that after the service. I'm Amber Scott, your Director of Religious Exploration, and my pronouns are she, they. I'm a white femme millennial with wild and wonderful wavy hair, and I am wearing a shirt that says, "Go big, be kind, be proud." Today's story is called A Plan for Pops, written by Heather Smith and illustrated by Brooke Kerrigan. And you are welcome to keep blowing bubbles if you like. Every Saturday, Lou visits Granddad and Pops. They start their day with breakfast. Granddad has toast with jam. Pops has colorful cereal, the kind that turns the milk pink. Lou has both. The jam is sweet, and the cereal tastes like a rainbow. Over breakfast, Lou's grandparents share the paper. Granddad reads the science and technology section. Pops reads the comics. While they read, Lou plays with the paper umbrellas Pops put in their juice. Granddad says, "Lou, did you know umbrellas have ribs?" Lou shows Pops the delicate paper canopies, but no matter how hard they look, they can't seem to find them. After breakfast, they go to the library. They walk hand in hand like a chain of paper dolls. They move slowly through the neighborhood because Pop's legs don't work like they used to. Lou doesn't let go till they get there. At the library, Granddad reads about how things are made. Pops sits at a computer watching rock and roll videos. Lou goes back and forth between the two and learns that zippers are made from teeth, and Elvis was king. At lunchtime, Granddad has boiled eggs. Pops invents a new meal, spaghetti on waffles. He adds hot sauce for zing. Lou has both. The eggs are buttery and soft, and the spaghetti tastes like fireworks. After lunch, Granddad tinkers with nuts and bolts and bits of wood. Pops listens to music. Lou hammers 6 nails and tightens 10 screws. Then, as lunch settles, Lou curls up with Pops and listens to stories about the old days when Pops used to shake, rattle, and roll. When Pops falls asleep, Granddad and Lou do what they do every Saturday afternoon. They build. Granddad sketches an idea. The machine doesn't work the first time, or the second, or the third. Lou says, "It'll never work." Granddad says, "Always remember the 3 Ps, perseverance, persistence, and patience." Granddad squints at their contraption. "I think the problem is with this ramp." He makes an adjustment and smiles. "Lou, go wake Pops." Together, they watch as a golf ball hits a switch that turns on a fan that blows a toy car that rolls down a ramp and topples a book that opens a box that pulls on a string that releases to the sky a flock of paper cranes. Pops cries, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear," he says. "I've never seen anything so beautiful." The following Saturday begins the same as the last. Granddad and Pops share the paper. Lou plays with the paper umbrellas, but on the way to the library, something terrible happens. Pops has a fall. Sirens ring in Lou's ears. The ambulance takes Pops away. That night, there's news. Pops will need a wheelchair. Not just now, but for always. Weeks of Saturdays go by, and Pops does not come out of his room. Granddad whispers, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear." Granddad and Lou eat alone. They add hot sauce to every meal. Neither can taste the zing. Alone in the afternoon, Lou plays with their contraption. The machine doesn't work the first time or the second or the third. Maybe Lou thinks the cranes don't feel like flying. Rock and roll music floats from the next room. Granddad is trying hard to make Pops happy. Lou squints at the ramp. Maybe what it needs is a little adjustment. When the cranes are released to the sky, Lou cries. And then, as lunch settles, Lou begins to sketch. Granddad says, "What are you doing, Lou?" "I'm making a plan for Pops." Granddad and Lou put the plan into action. They persevere, they persist, and they try to be patient. It's a big job for two people. Rat-a-tat-a-tat. The neighbors come to help. Soon the sketch becomes reality, but Pops is still too sad to leave his room. The next day, Lou comes up with another idea. While Pops sleeps, Lou and Granddad work quickly and quietly. They place a sign next to his bed. "Pull me." They wait. Soon they hear switches switching, wheels turning, gears spinning, seesaws rocking, and marbles rolling. Then click, 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 the dominoes topple all the way to the stereo. A moment later, Pop's favorite rock and roll song blares from the speakers. When the music ends, Lou brings Pops a glass of juice. A paper umbrella decorates the rim. Pop says, "I think I might like to go to the library today." When Pops sees the ramp, he cries. "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, I've never seen anything so beautiful." Lou pushes the wheelchair bumpity bump over the cracks in the sidewalk. Pops says it feels like the old days when he used to shake, rattle, and roll. At the library, Granddad reads about how things are made. Pops sits at a computer watching rock and roll videos. Lou goes back and forth between the two and learns that the plastic bits on shoelaces are called aglets and that the jitterbug is a dance. The end. Today, we are here to celebrate the many ways that we care for one another and to reflect on how our community and loved ones can help draw us out of despair and restore our sense of hope. Please remain seated with hands over your hearts as we sing Spirit of Truth, of Life, of Power, number 403, to sing our beloved children back to their families and out to class.
Spirit of truth, of life, of power, we bring ourselves as gifts to thee. Oh, bind our hearts this sacred hour in faith and hope and charity.
The Share the Plate recipient for January is Bottoms Up Diaper Bank, which was founded by Tim and Joe Welsh and delivers diapers to over 70 food pantries and child care facilities in central Ohio, including our own Feed and Read Ohio program. In addition to passing the basket, you can text to give, scan the QR code, or visit firstucolumbus.org/donate. Thank you for your generosity. The ushers will now receive the offering. Very appropriate. So we'll now be hearing from folks who are participating in our caring ministries. Because of time constraints, they won't be doing our usual visual descriptions, but I'm sure you will enjoy hearing from them and about all the many gifts that they offer to this community.
Good morning. My name is Carla Rinto, and I'm a member of the Caring Team, which is part of the Caring Ministries. Our goal of the Caring Team is to provide tangible support to members when they're facing difficulties. I want to highlight some of the tangible opportunities for each of us to contribute to our beloved UU community through the Caring Team. In your order of service is a form if you're interested in joining us. I have the form here. It is in case you want to join us in any activities of the Caring Team and the Pastoral Team. And I thank Becca and Nan Beamish for putting that together. This is a great opportunity with the Caring Team for new members, especially today since new members came to us and were welcomed, for new members as well as longtime members to volunteer. The first one is caring cards, and most of you are probably familiar with that. Each week, we ask you to sign caring cards in Beach Hall. These cards are generated by you through our Joys and Sorrows form on the website. People can fill them out for others with their permission and for themselves. We welcome joys that include weddings, births, graduations, professional and personal accomplishments, as well as sorrows that include illness, injury, and deaths. In addition, I think there's going to be a recognition of the bishop and things like that that can be added to our joys and sorrows. Sharing these joys and sorrows with the wider congregation allows others to know about our significant events in our lives. And if requested, these joys and sorrows are announced at Sunday service and a caring card's initiated. I know how meaningful receiving a caring card can be, and I've received many. Knowing that our members of the UU community are sending good wishes, congratulations, healing thoughts, and our condolences is very powerful, and I know many of us appreciate that. The caring table is in Beach Hall and staffed by volunteers, and we're always looking for new volunteers to help. It's an excellent way, especially for new members, to meet people, and the commitment for the caring table is usually only one time a month. So please think about that. Another area for the Caring Team is the Caring Network. Karen Torvik and Gail Baxter coordinate that. They help to bring meals to individuals in their times of need, especially like when someone's had a surgery or an illness. And they also coordinate rides when someone needs a ride for a medical appointment or areas like that. It's a short-term intervention, but it's helpful when you're going through something like this. Medical equipment and orthopedic equipment loan is another area that we work on. And Jane Tessier is the person who maintains that list of equipment. And many of you know when you have an accident or an injury like this, you tend to need some sort of equipment. And so we have a list of the equipment that people have at home, and then you can tap into that. So it's another area where we want to be a help to members of the community here. And lastly, memorial services. We do memorial service receptions, and Chris Sullivan and Nan Beamish, I don't think Nan is here today, and I coordinate these receptions. Chris is our lead and does a marvelous job at coordinating with the families and with the ministers to make the receptions personalized. We're always reminded at each service and each reception how appreciative appreciate these memorial services and receptions, how they appreciate them, the families and friends who attend for their loved ones. If you choose to sign up to participate, we ask you to help set up, serve food, clean up, and sometimes donate food, so that it's a shared responsibility for all of us. I know how meaningful being a part of these teams has been for me, and I hope you will consider joining us as we do these kinds of work. We see it as a ministry that's concrete and meaningful to many. With us today are Pat Owens and Paula Egbert, who both have had personal losses, and they're going to share their experiences of what they went through and the care, hopefully, that everyone gave them through the memorial services and receptions. So if you guys want to come up, thank you.
Hello, I'm Paula Egbert. I've been a member here of this church since 2009, and I've been an active member of the Welcome Team and a regular volunteer at the Visitor Center here on Sunday mornings. I would like to warmly thank the Reverend Kathleen Fowler for her wonderful support and the calm and kind counseling that she provided me after the death of my husband, Bill, in June of 2023. Bill had lost his courageous battle with cancer. I left a message on the church voicemail, and Kathleen was so good enough to call me back right away, and she came into church on her day off to meet with me. Kathleen assured me that even though Bill was not a member of First UU, that I could use the church facilities for his funeral. She helped me put together a celebration of life program and agreed to be the officiant. I give my heartfelt thanks to her and to the many members of my UU family who attended that service. It gave me great comfort, not only to me, but to my extended family. I love you all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pat Owens. I've been a UU member for a very long time. I am a participant for the past few months of a group called the Caregiver Group, which is facilitated by Claire Freed. And it has been a wonderful opportunity. I qualify for the group because this year I had two great losses. One was my daughter Jessica, who left 3 children. So I became a guardian of 2 of them, and that certainly qualified me for the caregiver group, right? So at any rate, the group has been very valuable. We meet once a month by Zoom, but it's important because you're doing all this caring, but whoever says to you, how about you? You know, what's going on with you? And so it's an opportunity to just come together, speak without any judgment from other people, and then at the end, when everybody's had their turn, we share. You know, we share things we're doing, how we're doing, what we're doing that works, what we're doing that didn't go so well, and how we might change that. And I want you to know that that's been a really good support to me. I really look forward to it. And a very important thing to me is this church that's been my family for so many decades. After Jessica died, her service was here, and there had to be over 50 people that day from the caring team and from the entire church, faculty, who helped us put on a lovely service in her memory. It was May 4th, and it was just beautiful. In addition, people from the church brought us food, extended a caring hand, and cared for us in a consistent, reliable way. So if you ever have that kind of need, I cannot thank the caring team enough, for what they did that day. It was just lovely. I'll always remember it. So, okay, that's it.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Pat and Paula. And later in the service, members of the pastoral team will highlight their roles and of the different groups that they support. So thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, choir. Today's pastoral listener is Kathleen Fowler. If you have something on your mind or heart today, she'll be in Beach Hall following the service and we'll be happy to listen. We have some joys and sorrows from our community to share with you this morning, and there are 2 caring cards to sign in Beach Hall after the service. Congratulations to Nico Lawson and Alex Beneke, who were married on January 9th, and new members. Excellent. Caring thoughts are sent to Bernadette Vanderbegen upon the death of her father, Jean, who died on January 7th in Belgium. He was 94 and had been lovingly cared for by his wife for some time. His family will miss him. Bernadette is in Belgium supporting her mother. And healing thoughts go out to Ricky Wagner, who plans to be home on Monday recovering from gender reassignment surgery. She won't be up for visitors for a few weeks, but will be happy to reply to messages and text. I hope you heal well, Ricky. And a special celebration for Reverend Marion Edgar Booty, the Episcopal Bishop in Washington, D.C., who exemplified courage. She preached boldly for mercy and compassion for LGBTQIA plus siblings and is now, unfortunately, being publicly attacked and having her fellowship challenged. Her powerful testimony for inclusion and her prophetic message of love call for us to support, and we send her our prayers and to her and to her congregation. Please join me in the spirit of prayer, meditation, as we hear these words from Laura Martin. Come to me, you who feel like the world is both too much and not enough. Come to me, you who have left what you no longer believe and are uncertain what you hold now. Come to me, you who keep joy close, who see your way to a horizon line, who feed birds and watch them eat. Come to me, you who work your feelings into soil, that something may grow and something may return. Come to me, you who cannot find steady ground for yourself, who stand close to despair, who navigate on nights with no stars. Come to me, you who remember music playing and those who played it, who put their hope in the quiet work of donkeys in the fields, who stay in the room even when it is hard. Come to me, you, just come. Amen. Please remain seated to sing hymn number 18 in your gray hymnal, What Wondrous Love.
What wondrous love is this, O my soul, O my soul? What wondrous love is this, O my soul? What wondrous love is this that brings my heart such bliss, and it takes away the pain of my soul, and takes away the pain of my soul. When I was sinking down, sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down, sinking down, when I was sinking down beneath my sorrow's ground, friends to me gathered round, O my soul, friends to me gathered round, O my soul. To love and to all friends I will sing, I will sing. To love and to all friends I will sing. to love and to all friends who pain and sorrow mend. With thanks unto the end, I will sing, I will sing. With thanks unto the end, I will sing.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Kathleen Fowler. I am a retired hospital chaplain, and I've been a part of the pastoral care team for about 16 years, first under the leadership of Reverend Eric Meter, and then Reverend Isabel Call's care. It has been and it is an honor to serve the church in this way. This team was formed in the spring of 2002 with the understanding that lay ministry is an important extension of the work of the settled ministers, not as a replacement. The early team members under the leadership of Reverend Mark Bellatini and Reverend Wendy Fish came together to contribute to the building of a stronger community in a very particular way, and this caring continues to this day. Although part of what the team does is quite visible on Sunday morning when the pastoral listener is announced and available for confidential conversations following the service, I think much of the work of the pastoral care team might not be well known because it happens so often individually between a trained pastoral team member and an individual connected with this church, someone who desires one-on-one care and support. And we also offer on occasion grief groups. We serve to support individuals and help them to stay connected with the church, perhaps if they are no longer able to participate in the life of the church, or if they need a listening ear to work through some major life changes. The team is headed by the Pastoral Team Council, consisting of Reverend Teresa, Denise Deschaines, David Carr, Karen Torvik, and myself. We try to be the eyes and ears of the congregation, noticing individuals who no longer attend or who may be facing some challenges in life that is very difficult. The sharing of several of these team members is going to follow me to help you get a better idea of some of the scope of our efforts. So I want to offer two invitations. First, if you have a need for this caring support, or if you know someone from the church who does or maybe hasn't been here for a while, please let one of the members of the council know, or speak to the pastoral listener on Sunday, or contact the church office. Second, think of ways that you can be involved in the volunteer service here. Often in giving, we receive in greater measure than our efforts on another person's behalf. Please let us know if you want to talk about ways you can serve this church community. To be better, we need each other. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Claire Freed, and I am the facilitator and a member of the caregivers group. I am a very, very lucky person. It brings me such joy to briefly talk about it, and Pat, wherever you are, mwah, there you are. Thank you for your words. I was asked to facilitate the caregivers group this past autumn. It had been in place some years before and had run very smoothly. Reverend Sylvia Howe was responsible for it. She retired, and so it hadn't been up and running for about a year and a half. So I was asked to do this, and I said I would. I hesitated a bit, and I shouldn't have. The caregivers group is specifically for members of the church and friends of the church who are currently caring for a loved one or who have cared for a loved one in the past. And the group members decide who that loved one is, family member, friend, whatever. Our goal, as was mentioned, is really support. We support each other, and we do so via sharing with each other our sometimes very unique experiences, and at other times, mutual experiences. There are requirements to be a member of our group. And the first requirement is to come with an open heart. The second requirement is to come with the ability for deep listening. And Reverend Kelly has spoken about that in the past. It made a huge impact on me, and it's really very important. All the conversation that we share is confidential. We only speak among ourselves at the group or perhaps afterward, but it is confidential. We meet monthly, as was mentioned, the first Monday of the month from 7 to 8 p.m. It's via Zoom, and of course that information can be shared if any of you are interested. We wholeheartedly welcome new members. I'd like to share some words by the members. Pat has spoken very eloquently. Thank you, Pat. I have a few words by another member. It's so wonderful that I am a part of a group that understands what I go through being a caregiver. Sharing what I've learned with others makes me feel worthwhile. For myself, this group has been incredibly meaningful. Grace is demonstrated by each member at every meeting. I am continually amazed at the courage of our members, their honesty, as well as their humility. Support comes very natural for us in the group. And again, I'm so grateful to be given this opportunity to be in this community. I really believe we are doing holy work. Thank you. I'll be out at the caring table after the service, so if anybody would like to speak, please do so.
Good morning. My name is Denise DeShane, and I currently facilitate the Keep On Moving group. First, a little history. A few years ago, Reverend Sylvia Howe asked me about the possible need for a church group for people with chronic pain. As it turns out, the prevalence of those with chronic pain in the United States is roughly 18 to 34%. It's more common in women, increases with age, and can be associated with isolation, anxiety, and depression, which of course are major impacts on a person's life. Because isolation and distress are also associated with other medical conditions besides chronic pain, the name of the group was changed more recently to the Keep On Moving group, which I currently facilitate. The group meets via Zoom the third Monday of the month from 7 to 8 p.m. Keeping confidentiality, listening to others in a supportive manner, and contributing in a meaningful way are prerequisites for attending the group. The Keep On Moving group attendees spontaneously express gratitude for the unconditional love from the group at every meeting. I enjoy facilitating the group because of the enthusiasm, mutual support, and positive energy members bring to the group. We have room for a couple more people in the group, so if you're interested, please let us know. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Nancy McDonald Kenworthy, and I lead a Zoom group of widowed UU men and women. I myself am a widow, and as a result, I earned a PhD doing ethnographics research on an online group called WidowNet, of which I've been a member for over 20 years. We used to say we were members of a club that nobody wants to belong. My research proved that grievers do not cut off their bonds, as the dominant 20th century psychological theory has contended. A few years ago, I was asked to lead our own widowed group here at the First UU. We meet the first and third Thursdays to talk about things that nobody else wants to hear. And it brings a different kind of comfort that you belong to that club. It makes it easier on us. If you're widowed and you wish to join us, please email me and I'll add you to the Zoom group. Thank you.
My name is Ben Blee. I'm sure I'm not alone when I say that I have mixed feelings about Facebook. Recently, I read a post that got my attention in a good way. To paraphrase that post, it told a story of a Buddhist monk who spoke to a group of students. When the monk entered the classroom, he walked in silence to the blackboard where he wrote in all caps, "Everyone wants to save the world, but no one wants to help mom do the dishes." Everyone laughed, and then he went on to tell the students that statistically, it is highly unlikely that any of them would get a chance to run into a burning orphanage and rescue a child. He proceeded to talk about how even the smallest acts of kindness can have a profound impact on the lives of others. Reading this reminded me of an older coworker I knew years ago who told me how he coped with the seemingly overwhelming events happening around us. I just do what I can in my little corner of the world. I also thought of my involvement with the First UU Pastoral Care team. That started in early 2023 when Reverend Kathleen asked me if I would be willing to provide modest support for someone who is in an assisted living home because of his physical limitations. The person was an acquaintance of mine I had known for several years, and he resides within a 5-minute drive of my home. My support for him includes phone calls, in-person visits, and some incidental shopping. Our visits have included playing dominoes, talking about events at First UU, talking about our health, sharing memories of holiday celebrations with our childhood families, and the special foods that were served by our mothers and grandmothers. He often expresses gratitude for the calls, the visits, and the small gestures of help that others and I provide. In his book, Living a Life That Matters, the late Rabbi Harold Kushner wrote, "When we worry that our lives are passing in a parade of trivialities and insignificant events, when we yearn to do things that matter and feel like failures because we haven't, I have always found that an effective cure for that feeling of insignificance is simply to find someone who needs our help and reach out to that person." The observations shared by the monk and the rabbi are exactly what I have experienced by these simple acts in my little corner of the world.
Thank you all. Take a deep breath. We're coming in for a landing. There's a famous quote by Fred Rogers that we often hear: "In times of great fear, look to the helpers." It was actually something that he heard often from his mother. And today it feels particularly apt. Look to the helpers. These people who spoke to you today would certainly not consider themselves heroes, but in my opinion, they are exactly the kind of heroes that we need today. They're not performing a radical act that will change the world, or are they? Back to Fred Rogers. Despite delivering a devastatingly simple message, you are loved exactly as you are. Fred Rogers was the opposite of simple. He was a minister and a psychologist who knew in his bones what children needed most was to feel safe and understood and loved. At one point, when Mr. Rogers' neighborhood was at its zenith, Congress started to debate about whether PBS was something that deserved government support. In particular, a conservative senator named John Pastor was determined to shut it down. But Mr. Rogers came to testify on Senator Pastor's panel, and he said this: "This is what I give. I give an expression of care every day to each child, to help them realize that they are unique. I end the program by saying, you've made this a special day just by being you. There's no person in the whole world just like you, and I like you just as you are." This hearing was televised, and after Mr. Rogers spoke, John Pastor had tears in his eyes and gave up trying to get rid of PBS. What Mr. Rogers was truly saying is that you don't have to do anything special or sensational to be loved, and that the greatest thing that we can give to a child or to anyone is the understanding that you are good and loved just as you are. And this is what we try to offer with our caring ministries, something that seems so simple: a ride, a meal, a listening ear, and yet it is so much more powerful than that. Particularly in times of great fear, it is all the more powerful to look to the helpers. And I would argue that it is indeed a radical thing that we do, offering love and care in a world which so desperately needs it. If all of us helped others, not just in these ministries, but in what we do in other parts of our lives, I think we could have the same power as Fred Rogers when he converted John Pastor to the necessity of offering a simple message of love. It may not be something that our government will continue to do, unfortunately, in these days, but we can continue the struggle in our own small way every day. Every time we offer love and care into the world, something truly powerful happens. Thank you, all of you who engage in these important ministries. So if you have prepared a meal for someone, please rise or wave your hand. Rise, come on. You can do it if you're willing, if you're able. If you made time to listen deeply to another who is struggling, please rise or raise your hand in whatever capacity. If you've offered a ride to somebody in need, please rise or wave your hand. If you would like to volunteer for any of these important ministries, please rise or wave your hand. This is power, my friends, the power of the helpers. Amen. So may it be. Let's join in our final hymn, Be That Guide, number 124.
bitter through the test may be. Through all ages they are right, though they build in agony. Be the teacher faith direct, move beyond the old frontier, though the fright and fear that faith be tomorrow's pioneer.
Please take the hand of someone close to you if you wish, or place your hand over your heart. Our closing words are from James Baldwin. The longer I live, the more deeply I learn that love, whether we call it friendship or family or romance, is the work of mirroring and magnifying each other's life. Gentle work, steadfast work, life-saving work in those moments when life and shame and sorrow occlude our own light from our view, but there is still a clear-eyed, loving person to beam it back. In our best moments, we are that person for one another. Amen. And let's join in our extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of vision. As we go forth, let us heal, transform ourselves and our world through reason and